Of course, the big issue is going on with the city of Needles, the budget that's going on. At the last council meeting, what was one of the things that were talked about, and also what's has changed since last Tuesday, and how's the budget being worked out? Is anything being
The city council will have in front of it next week a balanced budget.
mhm.
That does. There will be some increases in user fees, and there will be some cuts in services. We've tried to make those to where they are the least possible impact to people in the community.
So running down on some of the things first. Let's get some of the stuff, the main ones. What is some of the things that are gonna that the public will know? That's gonna change, or what's gonna maybe be cut or be risen or anything like that.
Well, the primary, we're going to look at things like maybe we don't overseed as much as we did in the past, to where green grass in the winter might not be as important if it saves money. There might be for user fees. There might be some slight increases like in golf fees or launch fees or fees such as that.
Well, going on to that, golf fees, launch fees, boats fees, and what about for the swimming pool? How much of an effect this will be for those citizens? What kind of difference of a price will that be?
Well, we don't have the fees worked out yet for the
Okay.
swim program.
Is it is in regards to the pool, anything being cut from the pools or the rec center?
Um, I think I think there are some things, but they're not going to be noticeable on the street. Uh,
Anything?
for example, we one that we talked about was cutting the summer program from 8 weeks to 4 weeks.
Okay.
So that summer program, we're looking at being able to continue as best we can all of the youth programs that exist today.
So the youth swim team, the
Yeah,
program, those are going to
there may be
continue.
some adjustment in hours
Okay.
where we don't want to be in a position where we've got two or three lifeguards there and there's only a couple kids in the pool. We want to tighten up the hours a little bit.
What about the hours on the that includes the hours? How about the pricing to enter the swimming pool, the aquatic center, and all that? Is there any going to be
Sure.
changes in the price for entering to the swimming pool or anything like that?
We haven't got that worked out
Okay,
yet.
so we're gonna.
There probably could be some, but we want to make that as minimal as possible.
Today at the board of the utility meetings, there's been a lot of talk about there was one of the members were bringing up two employees we're gonna be losing, or how many employees is there? Well, first, is there any employees are gonna be lost in this
Yes,
budget thing?
about 80% of the city's expenditures are for people. And you can't cut the budgets without cutting positions. So we're going to be going through what every business, what every household, and what every company has done in the country, and that is we're going to be looking at probably a reduction in workforce of a couple people.
So it's not just two. It might be
I
an
don't think
estimated
I
number.
don't think it'll be more than three.
More than 30. And just before the end of the meeting, someone brought up a concern about and possibly one employee that could have been hired or someone that wasn't hired. It had to do with regarding the fire hydrants. Is there any concerns about any of these people being lost of any safety issues?
No, I'm not concerned about.
Okay.
Uh, we cannot compromise safety.
The other thing, how's some of the city employees feeling about this? Some of the vibe that's been going around is that we're working out here. We're not we haven't been gone talked to by the city or by even the city manager and things like that, and they don't know how it feels. Or how's have you talking? Well, first of all, have you discussed a lot of these budget issues with any of the employees that are working out there and stuff? And how are the
I
rest of
meet
everybody else
every week
taking?
with all the department heads. I've been very open about the challenge that needs to be done. I've been very open at least three council meetings and at least two utility board meetings. Yeah, I think everybody in City Hall knows, the what needs to be done to balance the budget, and it's not easy.
Now, what about let's see, anything being well? Of course, we mentioned about about what do you call it, the parks and the boat launches. But what about anything utility rates being raised or anything related to that to help boost maybe some of the budget or changing to
Well,
anything like that?
in the utilities, the
Hmm.
city Needles Public Utility Agency can only charge what it costs it to operate. So you can't raise rates and then use them for city purposes. It's restricted funds that can only be used for the utility.
So there's not going to be any raises in taxes or anything in rates or utility rates to help to boost the budget, because there's been some concerns being raised.
Not on the utility side. On the city side, any tax increase would have to go to the voters and be approved by the voters.
Now at the last meeting, there was mention about the police department thing about maybe sending a letter. Can you talk about that a little bit?
The largest, the city gets about $4 million of general fund revenue, property taxes, sales taxes, transit occupancy taxes. The largest user of those taxes is public safety. Fire and police combined are about $2.7 million, and they're about a little over 51% of the city's budget. Those numbers have increased 5% in public safety or in police, and about 11% in fire. We've asked the sheriff to work with us to reduce those costs, and we've asked the fire chief to work with us to reduce those costs. It's getting beyond our ability to pay.
Have they responded yet?
No, not yet, because the letters have just gone out.
What are you asking from both of them?
Well, we're asking for about a 10% reduction in both those contracts. The sheriff's contract is roughly $2 million. We're asking for about a 10% cut. The fire is about $690,000. We're asking for about a 10% cut.
Now at that meeting, there was mention about there's 7.3 officers patrolling. There's someone brought up bringing it down to a 6.3. Right. Maybe is that losing one officer? But then there's concerns about, is that good, bad? And then there was a little bit of is there 16 officers running the county or outside of the area and all that?
The Needles Sheriff Station, which houses all the officers that serve within the incorporated part of the city. There are 7.3 officers that do that. On the sheriff also has in the same building, but it's called the Colorado River Station, which serves the unincorporated area. There are about 16 officers there that cover that large unincorporated area. We've asked for a reduction in the officers assigned to the city. And now, fortunately, we've seen about an 11% drop in Part 1 crimes in the last year, violent crimes. We've seen a 1% decrease in overall crime. So our crime rate is dropping.
Now I think I remember correctly at the meeting there was a mention of the class. Was it class 2 or the other ones? There's another one that kind of went.
Yeah, class 1 are murder, rape, your major person-on-person crimes.
So those are down.
Those are down, and they're down about 11%. The other Part 2 crimes, or the other crimes, are breaking into a car, bicycle theft, things like that. They're not as much. They tend to be more property crimes as opposed to assault and violent crimes.
Now, with all this putting together, there's a lot of, but I'm guessing is that one of the stack, or is that you have this budget stack at there's a lot of paper to go through, a lot of things to go through. Do you think that now there's going to be other workshops coming up by chance for the citizens to know about?
No, the next meeting will be this Tuesday. The council will receive the proposed budget, and they will adopt it before the end of the month.
So, and there's a likelihood the city will have a balanced budget?
The city will have a balanced budget going into next year.
And one of the other things that's being mentioned a lot in the community are concerns about are certain employees being paid a certain amount higher than the governor or anything like that. Is there any concerns about certain people being paid a little too much and they should maybe not be paid maybe more than what the city could afford? Maybe, have you concerns about that of any of the other employees? Maybe.
No, I've not heard anything.
Yeah, because that's another thing that's been a big worry about. If certain employees are working, it's someone's working in getting paid a certain amount more than people who are working in the offices or anything like that. Maybe it'd be best for them to maybe cut on their check, cut a little bit down on that, and have anything like that.
We're not recommending any pay decreases. city employees have not received a pay increase for a number of years, and there are none projected for next year.
And nobody isn't working in the thousands, hundreds of thousands, or anything like that right now, is there?
No.
Alright. Finally, for the future of Needles, what should the citizens are maybe still worried right now? People are worried that is things going to get better? Is things can get better before the end of the year? What do you want to let the community know? As of course we're
Well-
waiting. Hopefully, this is some good news next week
Well,
on
there's you know, in every area there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is Bash is closed. The good news is a new store is going to open. The bad news is that there have been some businesses that have vacated the community over the last few years. Bank of America, for example. But at the same time, we're talking with people about putting new businesses in the city. I have reason for a lot of optimism. I think Needles has a character that is that no other community in the area is comparable to the sense of pride and community that this city has. So I think there's a lot of reason for optimism. I think we're headed in the right direction, and we just need to, you know, put the foot down on the gas pedal and make things happen.
Now the budget can be seen online at the City of Needles website. They have the what's it called, the PDF file of it, and so people could look at it on there, and they'll be able to see it. And if they have any concerns, they could come out to the next council meeting and raise them or anything like that.
But, you know, when you have to cut, you know, $700,000, every department is feeling the effect of this cut. So no one's exempt, and everybody has to do their fair share.
You think Needles will make it through this time, especially with everything that's been full?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first thing is we're not going to have a deficit budget next year. Last year they had a deficit budget. This year we will not. Next year we will not have a deficit budget. We will continue to make the cuts or the balancing act that has to occur. You cannot continue on a deficit budget without putting yourself in serious financial risk.
And all the council members been working to get that done, and they haven't been like hesitating or
No,
trying
the budget committee's been very active. I've been meeting once a month with them. I continuously have budget items on the city council's agenda, and I update them and inform them on the financial condition of the city.
So, and round down the next meeting next Tuesday at 5:36, depending if there's executive session. It will be right there, ready for your approval, hopefully, and all that. All right.